The Hemp Wizard signature series artists are Walking Corpse Syndrome, So High, Black Sasquatch, Fester, You can give your beard the magic touch by going to hempwizard.net today and rock out with your
And that's my cue to start the show. Welcome to another live edition of the Hard Rocket Sports Show, live from high atop Hard Rocket Sports Studios in beautiful St. Renaud, New Jersey. We are your 3-hour weekly get-together where we bring you the biggest news from around the worlds of hard rock, heavy metal, and, of course, the wide world of sports. And, guys, welcome to Thursday night, August the 31st, the last Thursday in August. And we are closing in on the holiday season and the end of the year. I can't believe another year here at the Hard Rocket Sports Show. Going to be in the books soon. We'll bring you all of the year. We have football kicking off next week. We're 1 week away from the NFL season. We know what that means around here, folks. Lots of stuff to talk about. Giants and Jets every week. All the best NFL talk. And, of course, everything else in the sports and entertainment world. And a little bit of social justice and all that good stuff. If you want to talk about, we got some lot to talk about tonight. We'll talk about the Jets and Giants. A little bit of Yankees, City Hall, New York City's crying for help. Oh, please help us, please. We're a sanctuary city, but please. F them all. I hope they open the borders and they run rampant right over the city and they carry away Mayor Adams, that piece of shit. So I'll tell you flat out, I hope they carry them all away. Screw you. I hope you go bankrupt. I hope they have to sell New York City to Canada. Sell it. Sell New York City to Canada. You'd be doing us a favor. Stupid asses. Oh, let's open the border to everybody. Yeah, now how much fun you having? Billions of dollars every day going out the window. Millions and billions of dollars running out the window. Good. I hope they sell New York City to Canada. Screw them. Stupid asses. Oh, we're a sanctuary city. Now we're not a sanctuary city. We're maybe a sanctuary state, but we're not a sanctuary. They don't know what they're talking about between Adams and Hochul. Screw them all. I hope the migrants take over and they become mayor of the city. Screw him. He's too busy with go to parties anyway in his stupid clothes. I hate them all, and I can't stand New York City. I can't stand it anymore. Such a hypocrites. You know, during the Trump administration, they were all for go close the border. Now it's, the border's too much. Yeah, you stupid morons. You voted for it, folks. Good luck with you. Good luck to you. You voted for it. You got what you wanted. Between the moron in the White House and the morons in New York State, you voted for it. You got it. Good luck with you. So I got to drive through it, but I ain't got to live in it. That's for sure. I drive through it every day, but I ain't got to live in it. Anyway, we got a lot to talk about. Again, we got Labor Day weekend fast approaching. I hope you guys have a great weekend. We got a lot to talk about tonight. Let's see what's on the screen here. Dallas 24 to Virginia. Matt, you guys are going to get steamrolled by Big Blue, baby. Look, I even got my D. Jones jersey off you tonight, Matt. D. Jones, baby. D. Jones. Going to be the best quarterback in the NF least. The NFC least, it will be D. Jones, baby. Got it rolling tonight. See, this year the jersey matches the flag. We're really America's team. That's how it works. You overhyped cowboy. Please, cowgirls. Anyway, lots to talk about. No football on tonight. Got a little baseball. Yankees winning some games. Actually, I think they played today. Don't know if they won or lost. They are pathetic. I don't know how anybody watches them. They're boring. I root for them. They're my team. I grew up Yankee fan. I'll always be a Yankee fan. I'm excited about watching some of the young kids play. Dominguez, Peraza, Cabrera, Volpe. I'm excited to watch them. Thank God the Lord heard us, or maybe Hal Steinbrenner heard us, and Josh Donaldson's gone. Now, hopefully, we just get rid of Stanton. Well, we got a lot to do tonight, folks. Lots to talk about. We got football. We got fantasy football. We got baseball. We got some music stuff coming at you. We got some Alice Cooper news. Who else? Carlos Santana news. Well, it's kind of combined. Football. Yeah, I got it. College football. Yeah, listen, Matt. Nebraska's on tonight. Nebraska's playing Minnesota tonight. I'm going to tape the game. I got to watch my squad. That's my team. I'll be watching that game right after this. I'll probably have it on during the show. Love college football. Big weekend of college football coming up, folks. And as much as I'm excited about pro football, I love my college football. Love betting college football. Love watching college football. So this weekend's going to be a quiet one, and we're gonna sit back and watch a lot of sports, get a lot of stuff done. So, but right now we got a show to do. My partner in crime's hanging in there. We got a couple of new characters appearing on tonight's show, so stay tuned for that a little later in the show. Jeff and I will introduce some people, some characters, so to speak. It's up there, Adam Hines. I hope you're safe down. I hope you're everything's good with you, Adam. I hope you're okay this week. But I hope everybody out there, and I hope all my Florida friends are in good shape. All you guys on the East Coast, the Tampa area, Clearwater area, and the like, I hope you guys came out of that okay. I know they downgraded the hurricane, but it still went in, I believe it's a Cat 3. So I hope all my Florida friends are down there and doing well. I'll be down there in about a month and back there again in November for quite a long spell, as they call it. Anyway, we got a lot of stuff to get to. We got a lot to do, but I can't kick off the show without bringing on my partner in crime, the sexiest man on his side of the screen, and my buddy for 40 years. Long live Sabbath from Aaron Rodgers' neighborhood, Mr. Jeff Kowinski. What's up, Hefe?
Nothing. About fucking time, man. I gotta go to work Sunday.
Listen, my man.
Leaving me hanging here.
I got things to say.
Anyway, we got more important things. I need to address Matt right now. Is he still there? Is he still there? Matt, are you there? Yes or no?
He's still there. What else are you going to do?
I need to address him.
Don't undress him.
I don't want to undress him. Believe me, he's not my type. Anyway, Matt, I don't know if you're there. If you're there, acknowledge, please. I got to get something off my chest right now. Right off the bat, I got to do it. I don't want to say it just yet.
Are you liking my new jersey there, Jeff? My Danny Dimes. See the colors? Red, white, and blue match a certain thing.
Listen, Tom, it's a cheap fucking Chinese knockoff. How you doing, Adam? What's going on? Well, I might as well tell you, Adam. Matt, I don't know if you're listening, if you hear this. The Dallas Giants score is wrong. It's wrong. That is not going to be the final score. I think the Giants are going to suck so bad this year that it's going to be Dallas 33, Giants nothing. That's what I think. Dopey Danny, that means that he has some kind of brain. I'm going to call him paramecium Danny. He has nothing. He's a single-cell organism who walks around with his mouth hanging open, even worse so than you're going to be talking about 3 for 22 for 6 yards, 4 interceptions, 3 pick sixes. That's in the first half.
I have to apologize to everybody. Jeff obviously was drinking before the show, and
look,
Frankie Cat's around. There's the cat.
I got a surprise for him tonight.
Yeah, Frank, you guys stick around. We got a character for you. He happens to, I believe, a character who is a big Denver Bronco fan. So
Yep.
we do have a character somewhere down the line tonight. We will play, but right now we are listening to Jeff and his incoherent rambles. He sounds like Mayor Adams. That's
My rant is over, man.
Jeff sounds like Joe Biden at the latest press conference.
It ain't Russell Wilson, I'll tell you that much. Dude, you should hit him up with this now before he goes anywhere.
All right. So Jeff has discovered a new character. There's
it's not necessarily a new character. The migrants coming into the country, one of them has stepped forward and claimed to be a Broncos fan.
Yes, there's a new character.
And we have gotten a interview with him, and he has a few things that he wants to say. And Frank, I'm glad you're there because he's talking, and listen, he has a lot to say, man.
Are you ready to play him?
Yeah, go ahead. Well, you have to play him. I can't.
Okay, here we go.
It is I, the Lucha Libre de Bronco. I am somewhere between south of the border and Denver, making my way to Mile High Stadium to root my team on. Why, I do not know. This is going to be a really bad Bronco team this year. I say 3-14, but maybe with me being there, they win the AFC Championship. I doubt it. But let's see what they have going for them. Me. Yes, that is it. Me, their number one fan. I am the reason for them to play hard and to try to win every single week. That being said, I'm going to tell you right now, I don't know who they're playing this week, but they're going to lose by 24 points. I will come back week after week and give you a prediction. But this week, down by 24. I will be back.
Now, Jeff, I would think that ICE or one of the Homeland Security might be interested in finding out where this gentleman is. Are you willing to give up his whereabouts?
No, I am not, man. I have befriended him, and I'm going to keep him safe. He said that he's going to come on and give us Bronco insider news and tidbits. He said he's a big fan of the team. He's also happens to be a Kiss fan too.
So surprisingly, surprisingly, he reminds me of somebody. I'm just not sure where I've seen that picture before. But you say he's a friend of yours, and he's just come across the border. I'll have to believe you.
Listen, when you're driving around, somebody comes up to you with a squeegee and a bottle with yellow cleaner in it, and he wants to wash your windshield. I was like, man, I don't know about washing the windshield, but here's $2. Please step away from the car.
Yes. So we.
I seen him down in Port Richmond. That's all I can tell you. And he's heading west. So he says to Mile High Stadium.
All right. Well, we'll see. We'll track the adventures of the Lucha Libre Denver fan as the season progresses, and maybe someday he will pop up at Mile High Stadium or whatever it's called today, and watch a game. Maybe via closed circuit with the boys, but at the very least, we'll get the updates along the way. We do have an update. We do have, I believe, maybe a Raider report coming up or something from the hereafter. But we'll get to that a little later.
I was cleaning out my closet
the
other day, and when my daughter used to come over and have all her toys over, she had a Ouija board, and the Ouija board fell out.
Oh.
All I'm going to say is that it spelled out Raider report.
Oh, boy.
I don't know what happened.
Well, I would say we'll be getting a report from the hereafter from our dear departed brother. So stick around for that. That'll be a little later in the show. In the meantime, we got a lot to get to tonight. But there's only one way we get a show started off here each week, and that's by asking Jeff the magic question. Jeff, how was your week?
Tom, the week went pretty quick. I have a complaint.
You have a complaint?
I have the voice, yes. It wasn't your fault. We did our football draft.
Yep.
And due to our own idiocy, did not explore a couple things, and I wasn't able to sign on till the day of the draft, and we missed out doing what we did, and we made the draft harder for ourselves. I think.
Yes, we did. We did.
Sharing the screen and go up. No, down. One more. No, you went too far.
We did make it difficult on ourselves, but we take it through it.
Yeah, I did have a good time, and it's always fun.
Yep.
I'm looking forward to the team. The next day, I wake up, and look at this guy. Your draft was horrible.
He's throwing shit out there. That's okay.
He got a fucking A or something like that. Your draft was horrible. All right, listen, come back in January. Then that's when we find out whose draft was horrible.
That's right.
But yeah, it was a lot of fun, man. I just wish that we both could have been on a real page at the same time and make life so much easier for us.
Absolutely, but now we know we will have it right for the future, and but it was fun. The draft to me is always the best part.
Yeah,
that 30 minutes or an hour of picking and who to pick and not to pick, and especially with Jeff.
We didn't get no fucking F, Frank. Get the fuck out of here.
Yeah,
we got a D+.
Yes.
Close to F, not an F.
It definitely wasn't an F, but at least we picked our team. At least the computer didn't pick our team.
I think that happened to a couple people. I noticed one person didn't have a kicker.
Oh, really?
Yeah, I don't understand why he wouldn't. Yeah, I think he got a double F there, man.
But it ought to be an interesting season. And listen, when you play in a 12-man league, anything can happen because nobody is locked and loaded. Nobody. Everybody was searching for plays for the bench and second tight ends, and so you never know what can happen. You just gotta. This is where scouring the waiver wire and finding the obscure player that's going to have a breakout season is key. So watch out for Matt because he lives 24 hours a day, 7 days a week in the football world at this point.
Fucking Matt Belichick.
Yes. So you got to watch out for Matt. But short of that, it's going to be fun. Hopefully, there'll be a lot more trash talk this year than we got in last year.
I'm going to say this much. There's one thing that bothers me when we do this league, this fantasy league.
Okay.
When we get rid of a player and then all of a sudden I see that he got swooped up by Matt. Because then I'm usually in my house like, you motherfucker. That means he knows something, and the guy's going to come up with like a 300-point game or something. So I hope he comes up so I could say it to him.
I'll take Matt's betting advice before I take his fantasy football advice. Matt was excited about the Trey Lance trade, so that tells you all you need to know. Anybody who got excited about Trey Lance being traded, we're going to get to that in a few minutes. Anybody who thinks that's a great trade, and again, I'll say like I told to Matt personally, the Cowboys did nothing wrong. They gave up nothing. Yes, he was in the league last year with us. They gave up nothing to get him, and it doesn't cost them anything. But anybody who thinks that Trey Lance has an outside chance of becoming a great football player or even a solid backup is completely misguided. But we're going to get to that in a few minutes. I want to get my dad on.
I got to say, please mark that one down because
it's on the list.
I do want to talk about that a little bit more, especially after what you just said. Because the reason I say this is because if San Francisco willingly took Sam Darnold on and think that Sam Darnold is a better option for Trey Lance after watching his career, I still think Trey Lance has a shot.
I could not disagree more, but we will absolutely come back to that. We'll talk about Alice Cooper, Carlos Santana, a week to football starting, Coach Prime, New York crying for help. The Cardinals released Colt McCoy. Should the Jets have high expectations? Why not? And can the Jets count on Mekhi Becton? The Cowboys trade for Trey Lance, and anything else that we can come up with between now and 8:30, 9 o'clock tonight. Jeff and I will talk about. But my dad's hanging in there. Let's get him on. He's got a trip tomorrow. He's heading out of town. So let's get my pops on. Let's see what he's got to talk about, and we'll come back to our thinking. And remember, we still got a Raider report coming from the hereafter. So stick around for that. on the Hard Rocket Sports Show with Jeff Tomlinski and Tom Florio. Hang on a second, guys. Let's get my dad on. What's up, Pop?
What's up, guys? Tommy, Yankees lost. Volpe hit a 3-run homer in the ninth inning to tie the score. And naturally, what's his name?
Holmes?
Second baseman.
David
Threw away a double
Torres?
play ball. And they lost the game 4-3 in 10
Unbelievable.
innings.
Unbelievable.
Are they at least keeping it close during this time? I mean, or are they just a bad team that gets blown out every game?
No, they don't like getting blown out, but they're just boring to watch.
Yeah.
I like the fact that they're starting to bring up the young kids. Dominguez, they're probably their prized minor leaguer at this point, is getting juiced up to the pros. They've already got Peraza up there. They got Cabrera up there. Volpe's up there. Let them all play at this point. I'd rather watch them play.
The only thing I'm afraid of is what somebody said on TV, and I agree. I hope they finish under 500 for the simple fact that if they finish over 500, they'll say, see, we had a good team, but, between injuries and pitching, we had bad luck. So they're not going to do nothing.
Oh, I think you're going to finish. You're going to get your wish. Don't you worry.
Yeah, I agree with Jeff. I don't think there's a choice in the matter. And I tell you, true Pop, even if they were to find a way to win, 86, 88 games, which I don't think they'll ever do.
No, I'm talking 82,
Even if they
80, 82, 80.
Yeah, well, right now they're 4 games under 500, so they'd have to
They
play
still
over
got
500
Kansas
the rest of
City.
the way. Yeah,
They got
again,
Kansas City.
is it impossible? No, but are they going to finish, better than 500? Again, they're going to play a lot better baseball for the final month to get there. I don't think so. I think the question is just going to be, changes are going to be made. What changes? Are they going to change the players, or are they going to change the front office and the manager?
Never.
Well, again,
Never.
I think that's the question. So, I mean,
Never
if you're
change the
gonna-
front office.
Well, again, here's the
Extend
problem.
contracts.
Yes, yeah. So both guys got brand new contracts. So I can't see either one of them leaving. I would tell you that they're going to be on the hot seat for next year. I would be shocked. The only thing I could see is if they moved Cashman up to team president and brought in a general manager, and that would be a kick in the ass. So, but I doubt it. I think you're going to see the exact same people in the exact same spot. I think the best that you can hope for is that they eat Stanton's contract and they go and they make some moves between the farm system and trades and free agency. But I just don't see it. I think they're stuck with this team, and I think they're going to see it next year.
That's I have a feeling too.
Yeah.
And
So-
Jeff, I have to tell you, Jeff, I have a lot of. I'm really scared about next week with the Jets and the Bills. That's very telling. That's going to tell if this is all make believe. Look what we got. I mean, don't take nothing away from Rodgers. I think he's an excellent quarterback, but they're making him out to be the next coming of Joshua or the Lord.
With some of the quarterbacks the Jets have, he is.
I agree with you, but
And you got to have something. Not
you
one.
have to have. I agree. But let's look at Miami with Dan Marino, who was a better quarterback than him, and this poor slob made it once to the Super Bowl, and he didn't win.
No,
You have to have the personnel.
he didn't. But let me ask you something. Would you
Sure.
rather your team and your general manager and
No,
the media covering your team say this is a solid third place team? We project
no,
that.
but I wouldn't
15
want them to
seconds
say.
left.
I wouldn't want them what they're talking. They're talking about, and I mean, I understand they have to say it. You can't say, like you just said, a third place team, but a lot's going to tell the first night.
Hold on.
What's the
What
matter?
the hell?
What's the matter?
Hold on. Something happened.
With what?
Holy shit. I don't know what just happened.
Where?
That's on me. That's not you.
What are you talking about?
I have no idea. Right now, can you hear that?
Here, what?
No.
My computer has just been, I don't know what the hell's going on.
No, I'm fine.
What is it doing, Tom?
It's beeping in my ear like crazy. Holy cow!
No, I'm fine. And you guys look fine too.
Well, anyway, to answer,
I hold on, guys. I got a problem on my computer here.
to answer your question, Mr. Fleur, I mean, you have to. I think part of the coaches and everybody on the team is to psych up the team.
Oh yeah, no. I agree. I'd rather have a team with Rodgers than not have a team without Rodgers. But I think you're in a tough division. I mean, you got good teams in there.
You got to
It's
remember,
tough.
Mac Jones didn't do nothing last year. We have to see if he rebounds. Tua, is he one injury and that could be it for him? His career could be over. And a lot of people are saying that the Bills are slipping a little bit, that their window is closing. Until that happens, I don't believe it about the Bills. I think the Bills are still an excellent team.
Miami's not that bad.
No, Miami's a very good team as long as Tua doesn't get hurt. You know,
Well,
you
that's
also
the
have
same thing
Tyreek
with
Hill.
all.
What's that?
I say that's the same with all.
Yeah,
Tua.
but Tua's a little different. He's concussion history and everything. God forbid he gets another concussion. That could be it for him. You never know what may happen. You know,
I just get scared. I see him getting hit, and because a lot of players are very jealous. I mean, really, they're making him out to be the greatest quarterback. I mean, don't get me wrong, nothing wrong with it. He's a damn good quarterback. I'd rather have him than not have him.
aside from Joe Namath, who's the best Jets quarterback there ever was?
Now you see, I never thought Joe Namath was a great quarterback.
Well,
Never did.
For the Jets, he was the best. He won a Super Bowl.
Well, for the Jets, that's not saying much.
The
He
next best,
didn't win the Super Bowl. Their defense won it, and their wide receivers won it.
he was a quarterback on the Jets winning Super Bowl team, and the next best quarterback in Jets history is Mark Sanchez.
Yeah,
He won 4 playoff games and went to
yeah,
two championships.
you're right.
You can't say that he wasn't. You all right over there, Don?
Bobby, you all right?
Yeah. Now I had to shut the computer down. There was all sorts of whistles and bells and don't shut. And I don't know what anything was. Nobody else can hear it. Yeah, for me, I don't know. On this end, it was like a nuclear bomb was going off.
I just want to say,
Holy cow.
I'm rooting for them. I'm not a Jet fan, but I'm rooting for them. I always liked Rodgers. I thought he was a great quarterback. It's just that I just want to make sure that they're not showing you something, and it's not going to be what you think it's going to be.
Listen, you're talking about a team that won 7 games last year
Yeah.
with 3 different quarterbacks, and they 2.5 of them sucked. So already you got a better quarterback. Would he have been my choice to be quarterback if it was up to me? Probably not. But he's what the team has, and we have to take it, and we have to go with it. That's all we could do at this point in time.
Yeah. I hope it should, but I think this game's going to tell a lot. You're going to see just.
Yeah, I agree. I think the big thing, if you're a Jet fan, is you have to say Rodgers has made the playoffs a lot. He's obviously one of the best quarterbacks of his generation. My only question I have going into the year is, I'll throw out last year, but even the last 4 or 5 years, or the last 4 or 5 times he's made the playoffs, his play and his team's play has not been good. Is his team better now around him than he's had? Maybe. I don't know. I think his offensive line's not better. The defense certainly is. And I think he's got the best receiver he's had in a long time in Wilson. I just don't know if he's got enough around him. So, I'll still say I picked them for 3rd in the division. I still think they're 3rd in the division, but they got a chance for a playoff spot. That's my prediction.
I think they're going to go. They'll be at least 2nd place. I don't see them being 3rd place in the division. I really don't.
What scares me is I put them in the same position that the Mets did when they traded for the 2 pitchers. Everybody thought, oh, this is it. They got it now. They got the two of the best pitchers in baseball, they're locked in now, and they're lucky they're not even going to finish near 500. So
we'll see. It's good. It's a
We'll
week
see.
away.
We'll see.
Well,
I
the
hope
Jets are a
so.
little bit more. A little more
I
than a
can't
week away
wait
for the
for it.
Jets, but the
All right.
NFL starts off next Thursday night.
guys, I'm not going to see you. Have a good weekend.
Thanks, Pops. Enjoy yourself. Call us when you get up there. Let us know
Yeah,
you're
as soon as I
okay.
get up to you, we'll call you. Jeff, have a good weekend. Watch yourself.
See you later,
out
Mr. Florio. Be good.
Take care.
That's my dad. He's checking in. He's out to celebrate my aunt and uncle's 50th wedding anniversary. Uncle Bob and my Aunt Ro are celebrating 50 years this weekend.
Man, I could have gave a special message to Uncle Bob.
Yes, you could have. But they're out there. They're out to celebrate. They're out doing that thing. So I won't get to see my parents this weekend. But I got to see them a lot the last couple of weeks. So we'll be okay. But anyway, we got a lot of show to get to. It's 7:35 here in the New York, New Jersey area. And if you can open up your window, if you guys are out there, open up your window and take a listen. I guarantee you, over the sound of the wind, cars, you can hear the faint crying of Eric Adams, the delinquent moron in Gracie Mansion in New York City. He's crying because he can't handle the migrant surge. Blah! You morons. Anyway, I was gonna say it because I hate Eric Adams and I hate New York City. I hate coming here every day, but that's okay. So hopefully someday somebody will take over and restore order and bring us back to where New York City deserves to be. But probably won't happen in our lifetime. That's for sure. In the meantime, I hope all our Florida friends and family are doing well down there, Jeff. Another hurricane popping into Florida. Did a little damage in the Tampa area, and I hope everybody down there is okay. And make sure you guys all check in. But seems like most of the people came out of that doing okay. So good for everybody down there. And Jeff, what do you want to go? Jets? You want to go Trey Lance? What do you want to go right now?
Oh, whatever you got on the list, man.
There's a lot of stuff on the list. We can go any direction you want, though.
Whatever you want to do, man. It's,
all right, let's talk Trey Lance a little bit here. So here's my take on it, Jeff. So the fact that Trey Lance, in not his walk year or his contract ending year, got traded for a pack of gum and a football to be named later is not surprising. Okay? It's not surprising. What's surprising is you would think that a new regime came in, new general manager, a new coach, maybe team president, and they wanted to rid themselves of an obviously horrendous pick. Yet the guys who spent 3 number 1 picks to move up in the draft to get this guy, let him on the field for 1.5 games over 2 years and decided he was so bad they were going to give him away for a pack of gum and a football to be named later. I mean, Jeff, that's the most telling thing here. John Lynch, Kyle Shanahan, and the 49ers gave away a guy that they gave a game and a half worth of playing time to and figured out that Sam Darnold was the better backup quarterback and Brock Purdy was a better option at starting. That's telling.
Well, yeah, it's telling. But you know what, Tom? I also feel as though and think that it's nice to see a team, instead of dragging someone along like the Jets are doing with Zach Wilson, where they obviously have no intent on ever starting them, in my eyes, and keep him on the team for no reason at all. Get rid of him, cut your ties, and move on. If you don't think the guy is in your plans, there's no reason to keep him. It's better to get something than nothing, no matter what it is.
Yeah.
The Giants let a safety a few years ago just walk away on the Dave Gettleman years, and the guy went into free agency. You knew he was going to be a free agent. You didn't even attempt to try to trade him to get something out of it. So I don't like the idea of holding on to him because we drafted him first, second, third, 31st. It doesn't matter. The guy ain't going to play. Get rid of him.
It's not where you drafted him. It's the fact you gave up 3 number 1 picks to go up there and get him.
Listen, even at that, I hear you. But if you're not going to use him, get rid of him. Get something. Get something that's better than nothing. Let's just say that Brock Purdy works out. Okay, he was a playoff quarterback last year because he got his team to the playoffs.
Yep.
He actually played in the playoff. He got hurt, so he was of no use to his team. But say he, last player drafted and he played in the playoffs. There's a lot of guys that are drafted first round, first number one picks, and never even win a game. Look at Trey Lance. And Trey Lance, not for nothing, what was it, 2 out of 3 years or 2 years that he played? He ended his season on the IR. He got injured.
Two years in a row, I think. I think 2 years in a row.
The guy's made of glass. I wouldn't want that.
I'm with you. But again, to give up that soon.
Sometimes change in scenery. How long are you going to hold on to him for?
5
years and then realize he sucks?
I agree with you. I think it's a smart move. I'm with you 150% on the whole thing. I said from the beginning, I thought the guy was a waste of time. I think we were both in agreement that we both thought the guy was going to be a flop. But for the Cowboy fan out there that thinks Trey Lance is going to go there and become a solid football player or a good backup or a possible starter one day, I think you got to be a bit delusional. I mean, if this guy, basically you're asking him to have to learn to be an NFL quarterback on the job. Like, this wasn't a guy who was a good college player but needs to get better. This is a guy, and I've used this thing for 5 or 6 different conversations, but this is a Division I running back who somebody put at Division III quarterback and said, go try to be a quarterback in basically one season. Jeff, you can't ask this guy now to learn to play NFL quarterback while being in the NFL.
Well, listen, Tom, I hear what you're saying, but you know what? There's plenty of people, and Frank, I said they should be getting rid of Zach Wilson a long time ago. You can ask Tommy that. I think it's a waste of time that he's even on the Jets taking up a roster space.
I think that's another thing to talk about, sure.
The thing with Trey Lance is simply this. Some people think that they could change a player. Look at Geno Smith. I wouldn't have asked Geno Smith to play football on one of the high schools on Staten Island when he was with the Jets. He sucked. He absolutely sucked. He goes to Seattle, has one good year. Now people are talking about him like he's going to be the next big thing. Justin Fields, the guy can't throw the ball. He has one decent year rushing. Now all of a sudden he's going to be the next great thing in the NFL because he had a couple yards rushing. Are you fucking kidding me? I just listen. Even when you suck, your career is far from over. Baker Mayfield starting on his 3rd or 4th team in the last 3 or 4 years. Sam Darnold. How do you go from flopping with the Jets, not doing anything in Carolina? Now you're the 2nd string quarterback on a playoff, a Super Bowl contender. Really? What? How? So as far as saying Trey Lance's time in the NFL is done, until he's out of teams, I could never say that. After watching Sam Darnold bounce around, I can never say that anybody is done, no matter what their situation is, until they're done. In my eyes, that's how I see it.
I'm with you. As far as Zach Wilson goes, here's my fear for the Jet fans is, you're keeping Zach around because what you're hoping for at this point is some of Aaron Rodgers' ability and knowledge rubs off on the kid. And when the day comes that Rodgers, either physically or mentally or whatever reason, is done in the NFL, this kid's going to step in. But my fear, if I was a Jet fan, would be I might get the same shit I got 3 years ago, and then I'm going to be relying on this kid, and he may fall on his face, and now we're starting all over again. And I honestly think that this is stupid of the Jets. Now's the time that they should have either drafted or brought in a younger quarterback who has the ability to be that next guy and let him play behind Aaron Rodgers. And I tell you the truth, I know they weren't going to do it, but I would have kept Mike White before I kept Zach Wilson, to be honest with you.
I agree with you. I got to agree with you. This is what I think is going to happen. I think Rodgers comes back next year for one more year.
I agree.
Okay. They give Zach Wilson. I mean, they think they gave him a decent shot in the preseason. I think they rely more on him in the preseason. I don't think he's going to take over while Donald is while Rodgers is there. But maybe they get Rodgers to stay for a third year and let Wilson play. But by that time, Wilson's going to be in the league for 6 years, 5 years, 6 years. They're going to let his contract expire and get rid of him. They're not going to keep him. He's not.
Well, that's a big question. If Rodgers plays 2 years, I think they'd have to either sign that 5th-year deal or give him or let him play it out as a backup. I almost think it would become close to that. But listen, I would have kept Mike White because I think Mike White is more of a professional quarterback. Not that I think he's a great quarterback, but I think he would have benefited more in this role and then maybe been able to take over for that and gotten a little bit better. I think Mike White at least exhibited the ability to be a decent NFL quarterback while quarterbacking for the Jets the last 2 years. I understand that Zach is a number 1 pick, and they weren't going to let Mekhi Becton and Zach Wilson become busts if they could help it. I still think that they're wasting their time with Becton. The guys have played in essentially 2 seasons. He plays 1 preseason game and asks out after 8 snaps because he's tired. 8 snaps, 25 years old, and the guy can't play. Get him off the field.
8 snaps after 2 years and almost 360 pounds or whatever it is that he's weighing in at. So, yeah, of course he's going to be tired. What the Jets should have done when they drafted him at 367 pounds is saying, listen, you're a mountain of a man. We love the way you play. We like your style. You got to go on a diet, and you're not going to see the field until you hit 337.
Right.
We're gonna turn all of that around. You're just too fat to be an offensive lineman. That's it. That's it.
Yeah, I agree with you on that. I would have cut ties with Becton already. Zach, I get. They just don't want to give up on the fact that he can be an NFL quarterback. Maybe he can. Who knows?
Well, I don't think it's that, Tom. I honestly and truly feel as though that they feel that they swung for the fences last year. They connected. They did good in the draft. I think they feel as though that they have a decent team this year. If they get rid of Zach Wilson now, it's admitting that it was failed and everything else. And then if the season is a flop, then how bad do they look then? Then they're gone. They're probably gone. I think that they have to keep him and just see how the season plays out. I don't think that he's going to be back for a second contract with the Jets.
I'm shocked. I agree with you on that one. I think that's a tough one. Listen, it's going to be interesting. Well, next weekend, next Thursday, we'll talk a lot of football. We'll talk about the season. We'll make some picks. We'll have a lot of fun with the opening day of football. Chiefs and the Lions next Thursday night. Big NFL opening weekend. Giants on Sunday night with the Cowboys, and the Jets at home opening up against the Bills. I was a little surprised. I really am a little surprised that the Jets wound up underdogs in that game. The Jets are today getting 2 points in that game. Are you a little surprised that the Jets are underdogs in that game?
No, not at all. Not at all. They are playing the Bills, so
at home though. Playing the Bills at home with Rodgers.
2 points is just 2 points. It's the first game of the season. If it was the middle of the season and the Jets were 5-2 and it's week 8 and they were underdog by 2 points, maybe I'm a little surprised. But 2 points it's not like it's 12 points or 7 points. 2 points. It's not even a field goal. You're talking to safety. I understand what you're saying. Usually the home team is favored.
It was a pick'em game. I would think this would have been a pick'em game.
Evidently not, man. There's some people that want to maybe make some money on it. Listen, they set the line for the bank, Tom. You know that.
No, I get it. So let me ask you this question. If the Jets come out this game, September 11th, 8:15, and they get beat by the Bills and get beat 2 touchdowns, does it set what's the tone in Jet Nation? Is it, oh my God, it's another terrible year? Or is it, all right, it's one game, it's the Bills, we're getting our feet wet? What's Jet Nation look like Tuesday morning, September 12th, after not only a loss, but maybe a little bit of a bad loss?
If any team in the NFL is ready to mail it in on September 12th, then the quarterback should be released, the coach should be fired, and the general manager should be fired. You have 16 games left. There should be no panic, no nothing after week 1. Half these
I'm
guys.
not talking about the team. I'm not talking about the team. I'm talking about the fans. What is the fan reaction?
What could it be? It's one game. I wouldn't worry about it. I really wouldn't worry about it.
All right. Now hear me out on this one. The Jet scheduled to open the season. Buffalo at the Jets. New England at the Jets. Kansas City at the Jets. Right? No, I'm sorry. That's not the way it goes. I'm sorry. They give me only the home games. That's I want all the games. Okay. So Buffalo at the Jets at the Cowboys, New England at the Jets, Kansas City at the Jets, and the Jets at the Broncos. So there's Buffalo, there's Dallas, there's the Patriots, there's the Chiefs and Broncos. 5 games. What do they got to come out of that? 3-2 at a minimum, 4-1?
Well, 3-2. I think 4-1 is a tall order for any team. I think that they're capable of beating Buffalo. I think they're capable of beating New England. I think that it's going to be capable of beating the Broncos. The Kansas City Chiefs are going to be a big test. Can they play with the Chiefs? They don't necessarily have to win. They have to be able to play. If they could show that they're playing and they're not getting blown out, or if they come back, if they get a little behind and they come back, it is what it is. That is going to be a fucked up game for us because we got the Jets D and Patrick Mahomes.
Yes, we do. Well,
Jesus
we'll be sitting. The Chiefs defense. We'll be playing the Jets defense, I guess, or maybe we'll be playing the Jets, the Chiefs defense on that one. I don't know. We'll have to got to work that one out. But it's an interesting schedule early on. It's a tough schedule. I mean, Philly, they get the Giants, they get the Chargers, they get the Raiders, the Bills again, Miami. This is I would tell you right now, the first gimme stretch for them is probably December when they get the Falcons, the Texans, the Dolphins, the Commanders, the Browns. I think the second half toward the end of December.
The Giants?
They play the Giants on October 29th.
Well, who are you talking about? The Jets or the Giants?
I'm going with the Jets. This is the Jets schedule.
Oh, dude, let me go back to those games again. Say those games again, but slow.
Okay, so here we go. So I gave you the first 5 games.
Okay, but those last games in December.
Okay, so December is the Falcons at the Jets.
Okay, listen. That one there, I would lean towards the Jets because the Falcons, they have a lot of new pieces. They got a new quarterback who'll be starting the year. Let's see what happens. What's next?
Texans at the Jets.
I would say the Jets more than 50% win that game.
The Jets go down to Miami for December 17th and play the Dolphins.
If Tua is still playing and he's playing at a high rate, playing at a good rate and everything else, and the way that team is set up, that could be a hard game for the Jets.
The Redskins at the Jets.
The Jets should be able to play, should be able to win that one.
The Jets take off to Cleveland and get a massage from Deshaun Watson.
I think he's going to spank them. You never know what may happen. Cleveland, Elijah Moore has a lot to prove. Deshaun Watson, he's been it's been quiet for him as of late. Maybe he's learned his lesson. That could be a big game for the Browns. Besides, the Jets beat them last year and did so in an amazing fashion the way they came back. So, Cleveland may still remember that game.
Yep, and the Jets end the season. Date to be determined. Jets at New England, which we all know the ghosts will be out.
Definitely. I got to agree with you there.
The ghosts will be out.
Until what's his face is gone. Belichick is gone. Can't overlook anything.
Yep, I would agree. Listen, the Jets on paper have a tough schedule. Now, this is where the metal meets the road here. You want to be a good team, you want to be a playoff team, you're going to have to win some tough games. There's playoff teams all over. You got the Eagles, the Giants, the Chargers, all playoff teams last year. Right in a row. You get the Super Bowl champs, you get your nemesis, the Patriots, You got to go out there and play at Empower Field in Denver. This is a tough schedule, Jeff. And I will say, watching the Jets navigate this year, this schedule with their coach and this team, it's going to be interesting. I will tell you, October 29th, it's Sunday at 1 o'clock game. You, myself, Paul Gill, we will be watching this game in Staten Island someplace. So figure out your work schedule. October 29th, Jets, Giants. We have to watch this game in the bar of your choosing, October 29th.
Whatever you want to do.
I will reach out to Mr. Gill and tell him that he will be coming to Staten Island. I will come up from Jersey. We will get the wives if possible, but we will be watching on October 29th the New York Jets and at the New York Giants.
My wife is sending me a text
About
I just looked down. Go, what the fuck is she talking about? Looks like she lost a diamond in her ring. That's wonderful.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, nice.
Oh boy. Well,
yeah. Put me down. I will make every effort to be someplace. I don't care where it is, your house, whatever.
No, we're gonna do it in Staten Island. That way, Paul will come in. I'll come up, and we'll all watch the game. It's a 1 o'clock game on a Sunday. Nobody's got any excuses. So, October 29th, Jets and the Giants for a little bit of bragging rights and having some fun, and we'll get together for that. But again, Jeff Tominski, Tom Flory, Hard Rock and Sports. Thanks for tuning in, guys. Looking forward to it. The guys, it's Labor Day weekend. We've turned the corner. Football season. Pretty soon we'll be talking the Great Pumpkin, Charlie Brown. We'll be talking Thanksgiving. Paul Gill is a Giants fan. He's a Mets, Giants fan. So, but I remember growing up with Paul. He was a Vikings fan, and when we reconnected, he was more of a he's a Giant fan now. So smart man.
It's amazing how kids like certain things when they're growing up and everything. And look, Frank, he's a Bronco fan. Meanwhile, he lives over here on the East Coast. The half man had liked the Vikings. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Well, I think that goes back to the 70s, us growing up with Frankie, ourselves, and a lot. Think about the teams that were popular then. Think about Staten Island. It's all Steeler fans. It's all Cowboy fans.
It's Steeler fans because they won 4 Super Bowls.
Right, but that's my point. Was everybody back then the only team you saw in the playoffs were these other teams, and people became fan. Paul was a fan of the Vikings because they were in the Super Bowl 4 straight years, or 4 years in the 70s. So people, I grew up in South Beach. We're hanging out with guys. They were all Steeler fans. How the hell are Pittsburgh Steelers fans? Well, they were on TV every week. They were winning Super Bowls every year. Same thing with the Cowboys. That's the teams you root for. I was a Giant fan, but I also rooted for the Cowboys as a kid because they were successful. I love Tony Dorsett. So, but either way, I'm just that's it's not surprising. In the Broncos, think about those great Bronco teams from the 70s, the Orange Crush. And they had great uniforms back then.
Craig Morton.
Great unis. Craig Morton. Yeah.
Yep.
Tony Dorsett ended his career there, 1981.
Mm-hmm.
Anyway, so we got a lot to still get to tonight, guys. I want to switch gears. We were talking football pretty much the whole way through. I wanted to, yes, I was a Bronco for the Orange Crush. That was good unis, man. Lyle Alzado, Randy Gradishaw should be in the Hall of Fame. Randy Gradishaw, way underrated linebacker, great player. Carl Mecklenburg. There was some great Broncos from those 70s and 80s. But just didn't get it done. Jeff, I want to talk a little bit about I want to go to a little music now. We've been talking sports for about an hour, and I want to get a little music in here right now. So I want to talk about Udo Dirkschneider. Okay. This year finally ran. Okay. Yes, I hope so. Udo says younger metal bands need a concept in order to stand out. Do you think what? All right, let's start with this. Jeff Tominski, you've been a metal fan, a music fan, as long as I know you. 1982, 1981. We've loved a lot of the same bands. In your eyes, for you today, maybe for the kids of today, I'm not sure what they look for. What does a metal band need to do to stand out? Listen, the music's great, but if something doesn't jump off the page to you, you're never going to find it. Is it going to be the name of the band, to Udo's thing? Is it a concept? Is it an album cover, a mascot? What
Well,
would grab you?
it can't be an album cover because you can't find an album or a CD really. So that's not going to get you. And it's to me, it's got to be good. It's got to have a hook. It's got to be good. If it's not good, what's the point?
But how would a metal band today get you? Now again, how many times you ever go looking for new music? So my point would be, how would somebody grab your attention today to say, "Hey Jeff, come listen to our music so I can tell you how good I am," because you don't, and listen, neither do I anymore. So I don't know how anybody would catch my attention. I'm asking for you. How would somebody be able to catch your attention? Would they have to bite the head off a bat? What would get your attention to listen to the music?
At this point in time, I don't think there's anything a band can do. I don't think there's any band. We hold music to a higher standard because some of the bands that we listened to as kids growing up were the ones that drew other people into the music. Sabbath, Maiden, Priest, early Metallica. There's nobody that could come out and measure up against these bands. Who hair metal? Forget it. There's no hair metal out today. I'm not a hair metal fan. That's not going to do it. Some doom metal isn't bad, but it all sounds like fucking early Sabbath. That's not going to do it. I'm not into thrash metal. I like Overkill, some Exodus, stuff like that, but it's not something that I look to put on right away. It's too childish to me for when music is 900 miles an hour and what are they singing about? Satan? Come on, I don't need that shit. When bands like Merciful Fate are coming back after not playing for years and years, decades, and they're coming back because there's nobody else to play. You still have Motley Crue playing. They're playing to a record or a track, and yet they're still fucking playing out. People are still going to see them. Motley Crue's been playing what with Def Leppard? No, dude, I do not like Five Finger Death Punch. I'm a little jaded against it because of all the bad stuff that I've read about the singer, and he seems like a head case. And no, there's just nothing that grabs me about them. I just don't. I think they're too much of a. I don't want to say gimmick, but I just think that they're just too much of what it is. I just don't like them. I like bands nowadays like Sabbath, Alice in Chains. The original Pantera, before Diamond and Vinny died, but you don't get bands like that anymore. Early Metallica, before they knew they were famous and they were still not struggling, but still making their mark. Once they made their mark, it's like they sat back and, okay, we could put out an album in 5 years, 6 years. What I mean? It's I don't know. There's what is it? I don't need a stage show. Look, we saw Black Sabbath. What'd they do? Four of them came out, stood there, played good night, and turned around and went back out, and they went home.
But I agree with everything you just said, 100%. I don't need the shtick. I don't need any of that crazy stuff. What I'm saying is, if a band was out today, and they're going to hook you, I agree. Adam, I couldn't agree with you more. I need a hook in a song. I need a little bit of something that's going to get me that I want to hear that song twice in a row. I want to hear it over and over again. And there's so few of that nowadays. What I'm saying is most of us are not tuning in and finding some new band, whether it's a bunch of 20-something-year-olds or a bunch of 40-something-year-olds. We're not looking for that. But what is going to get you? What happens is, let me repeat that. Hold on. Let me say that again.
Look what the kid from Greta Van Fleet did. Now all of a sudden he comes out as as bisexual. Why? Why is that? Why did he come out now?
Well, again, but so that's maybe his concept. I'm saying is, what would for me? I don't know. I think if I saw a cool album cover or a good band name or something that would get me to say, I got to listen to their music and see what they're all about. I don't know. What I'm saying is, regardless of what music would get you to come back, Jeff, you may turn into a band and say, oh shit, these guys are great. But how does that band get Jeff Towinski to say, let me listen to 2 or 3 songs that these guys look, sound, do something? What would it take for them to get you to say, I got to listen to their music because of how? Is there a way that somebody could go, Jeff, we're a new band.
No,
Check us out.
there's not, because every single new band does the same thing that the band before them do. They try to sound like the other band. The 2 last bands that I got into as of late, I would have to say is Zeppelin, believe it or not. Okay, after all these years, and I started listening to the Beatles. I'm going backwards. I'm going towards the older music. I'm listening to lighter music, classic rock. I can't sit and listen. Metal, it's over. It's over. It's over.
I don't.
Is Priest, and I don't want to hear anything from Priest, new Priest. They don't have to put anything out. Maiden doesn't have to put anything out. Metallica keeps putting things out, but they put it out so infrequently that it's not even getting an album from Metallica that's relevant anymore at this point in time. Except members from Accept have come and gone, 1,000 times over. It's like a bar band. Oh yeah, our bass player moved away, and the guitar player got married, so these 2 guys came, and the drummer's getting divorced, so he had to sell his drums to pay for his lawyer, so he left. We got this guy. There is no original members left in the band. That's what it's like nowadays. It's a shame. The Scorpions and Kiss, how many years have they been doing a farewell tour?
Well, Scorpions have gone on 15 years. Kiss is 3, I believe it's now.
And I'll give Kiss the benefit of the doubt with the pandemic that maybe their tour would have been over by now.
Well, it should have ended in 21, I think, if I'm not mistaken. Yeah. But again, I get it, guys. I'm with you. Like, listen, Jeff, I'll be honest with you. For the last month and change, I've listened to nothing but hard edge country. Chris Cagle, Trace Adkins, Toby Keith. I'm stuck on it. To me, it's like brand new music. I know it's a lot of it's old, but I've never listened to it before. And it's got a great hook, and the melodies are great, and I'm enjoying it.
That's the thing. You found something new. You were forced to find something new. And me, Bad Company, I've been listening to Bad Company, Zeppelin, Cream, some of the Beatles. What's next? The Stones, the Who. Not just the radio hits. There's nothing metal. The Ramones. I got into the Ramones last year. I haven't stopped listening to them. Queen, when I saw the Queen movie. Well, this is all what we call classic rock. It's, it is what it is, but there's nothing in the metal genre that's coming out that's like, I want to go see this. I want to go hear this. I need to get
that. That's the key. I agree with you. I'm not disagreeing. I'm saying is, are we missing something because the bands aren't packaging it well enough?
No.
Are they, how do we find Iron Maiden? Maiden came out with a great concept with Eddie, with the design of the covers, Priest with the Priest with the leather and the Harleys and all that. There was something that grabbed you.
You were 15, 16 years old.
I got you.
55, 56.
But not all of us were 15 then. There's a lot of people now that you watch at these shows, and they're in their 70s still listening to those bands because they were 25 and 30 when those bands were coming out.
Yeah, you're right. And when we're 70 and we may go to see Iron Maiden for the last time, when they say that they're going out on tour and they're 75 and that's it for them, maybe we'll be out there. But it's the thing that a big tour this year was the Motley Crue tour. And didn't they have Def Leppard and another band with them?
Well, I don't know if it was this year's tour or last year's, but they had 4 bands at one point. There was Def Leppard. It was Def Leppard, Motley Crue. I know Joan Jett was on that tour, and then there was another band in there. Poison. Poison was in that. So they took 3 major acts plus Joan Jett to get a tour off the ground.
Okay. This is what right now I'm looking at the PNC schedule as best I could find. Sammy Hagar in the Circle with George Thorogood and the Destroyers. Tears for Fears. the Doobie Brothers. That's the 3 bands that I could see. Schedule. Let me see.
Frankie, I agree with you. I don't hate Crew
Yeah,
and their studio albums, but them live. Crew is the worst live band I've ever seen, and I've seen some bad ones.
This is the remaining schedule for PNC. Okay, Foreigner and Loverboy September 3rd, James Taylor September 4th, Leonard Skinner, ZZ Top, and Uncle Kracker. Now there's a bill and a half, huh? September 10th, September 20th, 10 days with nothing. 50 Cent, Busta Rhymes, and Jeremiah. Then nothing from September 20th till October 7th. Zach Brown Band, King Calloway, and Tennille Towns. Okay, that is it. That is it. Wait a minute, hold on. Let me just double check. That's it. That's all you're getting for the rest of the summer.
Again, I don't know who's touring, when they're touring. I don't know, but I'll say I don't know if we're missing anything out there. All I'm trying to get to is what would it take for a band to get your attention? I don't know the answer because
there's nothing.
I don't know. I would love to discover a 20-something-year-old band that played really good music, whether it's hard edge metal or hard rock, whatever. But everything I go searching for turns into a lot of shit. You know,
because that's what they're playing now. Shit, they're not playing anything good. There's nobody that's Volbeat. I tried listening to that, man. I don't know. You're gonna go see Duran Duran now. See Duran Duran. I'm not a huge fan of Duran Duran, but they are excellent musicians. Would I go watch them at this point in time? Probably. I would definitely go see them before I go see some of those other shows that I just said. You know what I mean? Volbeat. I got one song from Volbeat on my phone, and I tried to listen. They remind me a little bit of Clutch, and I like Clutch better than Volbeat.
Yeah, I think at this point I'm trying to find, or I'm trying to maybe click off the bucket list. You know, I've gotten to see Santana. I've gotten to see Earth, Wind, and Fire. I saw Chicago. I saw that, and these aren't bands I'm fans of, but I wanted to say I saw these bands. I saw Alice Cooper.
Great shows, right?
They were really good. I saw Alice Cooper open for Iron Maiden. Alice Cooper was fantastic. We'll talk about Alice Cooper in a bit. I saw Carlos Santana live. I'm not a huge fan. I saw Stevie Wonder live. I'm gonna try to go see Kiss on their last couple dates if I can afford the tickets at some point. But you know, I try to knock off the bucket list of stuff while I can. But you know, as far as discovering the new band, I don't know how I would get sucked in. I don't know. You know, I tried with Greta Van Fleet. I gave that. I watched everybody else talk how great they were. We played their stuff on the air, and it sucked out loud. I just couldn't. Yeah, Frankie, we got to try. I'm with you. I definitely got to try to go to that last show. I know the tickets are going to be insane.
I got to run to the bathroom real quick. I'll be right back.
I agree. I feel like I got to be. I feel like even though I didn't see my first Kiss show till '79, I saw Dynasty. I feel like I've been with Kiss from the beginning. You know what I mean, guys? I don't know if you're a Kiss fan, but growing up in the 70s, I started watching Kiss in October of 75. And I feel like I've been there from the birth. And I feel like I got to be there the last night. You know? So, Frankie, I'll talk to you off the air. I'm gonna look up the tickets, see what's out there on the secondary market. I got a couple connections. I'm going to see if I can find a couple of good seats. And if I can pull it off, we got to try to go. I've been there since '79. Was my first show. My uncle took my brother and his sister. We all went to see the Dynasty tour. But from '75, when I saw them on Paul Lynde's Halloween special till today, I would consider myself a Kiss fan. I'm not a big fan of the personality sometimes, and Monster sucked, and Sonic Boom sucked. The last few albums were terrible, but I feel like I've been there the entire time. You know. Almost the same way with Iron Maiden. I mean, I got to be a Maiden fan in '81 when I got Maiden Japan as my first album, my first metal album. But you know, Maiden was around for 5 or 6 years before that. You know, Kiss, I felt like I was there from the beginning, so I kind of feel like I got to be there at the end. So yeah, I'm all in on that one. But yeah, at this point, I've almost given up on being able to find that next great band. I think discovering some of them, kind of like what Jeff said, I'm not a Zeppelin fan. I'm not a big classic rock guy, the Who and all those kind of things. Not my thing. I kind of caught the '80s with Kiss, and then all the metal bands from the '80s on. Like I said, I've listened to a lot of country now. If you guys don't listen to country, there's some really great guitar sounds coming out of some of those bands, and I'm really catching into that. But I'll always be a metal fan. I'll always be a Kiss fan. Kiss, Iron Maiden, I'll always be my top two bands. I mean, that's just it for me. I mean, the one band I wish I got to see, just two of them, both Canadian bands. I never got to see Rush live, and I never got to see Triumph live. Two bands I'll always regret that I never got to see, and I'll never get to see with Neil Peart gone, and the fact that Gilmore basically refuses to play again. I'll never get to see Triumph. Those are two bands that I wish I got to see. You guys got a couple bands. Queen's another one, but not as big as those two. You guys got a couple bands out there? Anybody got? I'm sure they were. Anybody got a couple bands that they wish that they got to see, never got to see? Yeah, yeah, Frankie, as you were typing, I said Queen's a band I wish I got to see, but only with Freddie. I love Brian May. Anybody who plays guitar, even if you suck like I do, you listen to you. That's a guitar sound you just gotta love. I mean, that guy, him, Gary Richrath from REO Speedwagon are my two favorite guitar tones. I would love to have seen Brian May in his prime with Freddie live, but it didn't happen. I got to see Sabbath thanks to Jeff. I've seen Maiden plenty of times. Rush and Triumph are two bands, Jeff, that I wish I got to see at some point in my life that I didn't get to see.
Who, me?
No, me. I said we were talking about, to me at this point, it's about checking off the bucket list. I've gotten to see a lot of the bands that either I listened to or have been big parts of the music industry during my lifetime. Two bands I never got to see and I can't get to see are going to be Rush and Triumph.
Yeah, I saw Rush live a long time ago. They were great. It was during the Presto tour, and I wish I saw original Alice in Chains and Soundgarden. I was lucky enough to see Temple of the Dog, which was huge, and Pantera when they were huge. When Far Beyond Driven album came out, that was an incredible show. But a lot of bands, I can't say that I wish that I saw Queen because I wasn't in them until way after they broke up.
I agree with you, but I'd still like to be able to say. Listen, now I'd like to be able to say I saw Freddie play, sing.
Yeah, well, listen, it definitely would be cool. I wish that I got to see the Ramones play. When I see live footage of them, that they would just, like a machine when they played. They sucked, but they were.
Yeah. I would think that when you saw Ramones concert, you would have come out of there thinking the same thing we thought when we saw Motley Crue. Motley Crue, the albums were good. It was fun to listen to, but live, I mean, I saw them once in concert, and I've seen two of their live concerts, and before you plugged it in, they sucked. So, I mean, it's just, I got, listen, AC/DC is another one, but I would like to have seen the original AC/DC. I don't know if I could go now and see just Brian and Angus. I guess I could, but I want to see it when they were playing the old stuff, not what they're playing today. And some of the stuff today is not bad. So,
and Frankie, if you like the Ramones years ago, you should come see the Ramorons in November, because now the cat's out of the bag.
Cat's out of the bag. I saw the pictures last night.
It was all over the place. It's the original. No replica, no nothing. The original Ramorons.
So let me ask you a question. Was it really that big of an announcement? If you're bringing the same band, you guys never broke up. Why was this such a big announcement?
You don't know all of the behind the scenes.
Well, then we can't know it's a big announcement then if you didn't announce anything.
Yes, it is in November, and it wasn't something that was able to see. Not everybody was on board for what was happening. It was almost like when St. Hubbins and Tufnell had a little separation. Nobody knew what was going to happen, then it happened. And that's what I'm likening this to. It's going to be Mother Pugs, Frank. Mother Pugs, November something, and then December 30th.
Yeah, I will probably make the December 30th show. I'm pretty sure I'm going to be out of town for a while. I think I'm leaving right after Thanksgiving. I'm going to be leaving basically from Thanksgiving dinner right to a trip out of town. So I don't think I'll be here for that one. But December 30th, that'll be almost a year to the date I saw you guys for the first time. So I will make sure on my calendar I have that, and hopefully everybody will get out this Saturday, September 2nd, down in Staten Island at the Staten Island at the Richmond County Fair.
Yeah.
Jeff and 25 Missions, 4:00, taking the stage. 13 to 15 song set, I believe they'd be doing. So make sure if you guys are in Staten, Italy, this Saturday, 4 p.m., get over to the Richmond County Fair. That's in Richmond Town, correct?
Correct.
Yep. So make sure you get down to
that band.
Which is, I think they actually have some good parking over that way. I think they have a couple of the parking lots. So there is parking. And of course,
I certainly hope so.
Yeah.
If not, I'm going to be dragging shit around on my bait. I don't want to leave that laying around just anyway.
And you'll catch Jeff and Bill Graziano and Billy Graz and whoever the keyboard player is. They'll be out there doing some Skinnerd. They'll be doing some what else are they doing? Rolling Stones, and a few other bands.
Yeah, Ramones. Well, I'm not Ramones, the Stones and Skinnerd. First 5-6 songs are going to be over. All that'll be over right away. So if you're a Stones fan or a Skinnerd fan, come quick.
Get there early. Get there quick. And yes, Johnny Collins is in the Remorons, along with Chris Salazar and Anthony
Esposito.
There you go. So make sure again, guys. I've seen the Remorons. I saw their very first show. The music's great. The guys put on a good show. They wear wigs for a few minutes, and then I think the wigs go away quick because it's usually pretty hot. And they don't want to wear wigs after a while, but they do get into it, and the music's great. So get out there and see them guys on November 25th at Mother Pugs. Of course, December 30th, I believe, is also Mother Pugs. And of course, this Saturday at the Richmond County Fair in Staten, Italy, see 25 Missions featuring Mr. Jeff Talwinski.
How are the ladies at the Moron show? Married.
Scarce and married.
Actually, that's not true. There was the first Remoron show, there was a pretty wide variety of people.
I would tell you that was the most eclectic, the most diverse crowd I think I had ever seen. I went from seeing people I hadn't seen in years to taking my wallet out of my back pocket and putting it in my front pocket because I didn't trust half the people that were in the place, and shaking my head at the other half of the people that are in the place because you looked around and there were people painted up, acting the fool, but they were all having a good time. And it was a good show, but a very diverse crowd. I don't know if it was leftovers from the earlier bands or that's who was just out for the night, but it was a good mix and a good time. So if you get a chance, November 25th or December 30th, Staten Island, Mother Pugs, small in there, but it's a good sized crowd and plenty of parking. So make sure you get out there and check them out. I was hoping you were going to answer.
That is all I'm giving out for now.
There's nothing else to give out. You've given out everything.
There's been a few changes.
Oh my God.
The musical direction has gone off into the other lane a little bit. So there's going to be a few surprises at the Remoron show.
Really?
Oh, yeah.
Will you be playing non-Ramones music?
Well, every show we did do the Trooper. So imagine being a Ramones fan, and then next thing you know, we break out the Trooper.
Interesting. It's an interesting take. Yep.
You don't know what's going to happen. I can't. It's not that I can't tell you. I don't want to tell you. Yes, we do, bro. We do play the KKK. Took my baby away. We play a whole bunch of stuff. I'll send you a screenshot of the set list one day, Frank, if I remember it. I got a set around something.
38 songs in 17 minutes.
Pretty much.
You know, it's funny. I grew up thinking I was a Ramones fan. And then one day I said, you know what? I really don't have any Ramones music. Let me go buy a greatest hits album. And I went to the store and there was like 30 songs on it. And there were like 6 I actually liked. And I went, I really don't like the Ramones. I liked some songs and I didn't buy it. So I'll say I'm a big fan of Joey Ramone from his Howard Stern appearances. So, and there was a few times when Joey Ramone and I don't know, it was Marky, one of the other Ramones would call in and Joey would be completely annihilated and they would battle it out on the Howard Stern show. Now I'm talking like 1990s, like battle it out. Morons and you didn't know what you're talking about. That was more of a fan that I was. But as far as the music goes, listen, there's a handful of songs I really enjoy. Definitely one of those groups that will last the test of time because they made such an impact during a time period in their music that it would be a travesty if future generations did not know who the Ramones were.
Yeah, and the sad part is that they're all gone.
Yeah.
All gone. And that's the sad part of it. One of the few bands that there's nobody left. I mean, Marky Ramone is still out doing his own thing, doing the Ramones music, but there is no Dee Dee's gone, Johnny's gone, Joey's gone.
The Village should have a statue of the Ramones in the Village in New York City because they were such a big part of that area back in the 70s that there should be something there, a plaque.
Well, there is.
Where?
On the Bowery.
Oh, really? I didn't know this. Okay.
Well, not a statue, but there is a street named after Joey Ramone.
Yeah, that's not enough. There should be something marking the Ramones, not a street sign that'll eventually fall down. I'm talking a permanent piece of art that depicts the Ramones in their glory days, because that area was so built on their backs in the 70s, and that music that it's should be part of the history of the city. That's my opinion.
I believe you. I agree.
There are certain bands that are synonymous with where they're from. And in New York City, there aren't a ton of them. But one of those bands that showcases an era in our city's history. It was dirty. It was grimy. It was graffiti laden. It was, on the border of chaos and bankruptcy. And the guys who started it were the Ramones.
Listen, right here, you got to get this book. My wife got this for me for Christmas. This is the Dee Dee Ramone biography written by Dee Dee Ramone.
Okay.
I'm not a book reader. I started to read this book, and I finished it in about a week. And I'm not one to read. I'm not. I've got the. I have the Geezer Butler book.
Yeah, read that.
I've been able to read a couple pages. I haven't been getting to it. This book, it was great. It was great. And if because I read a lot about them online and everything else, Dee Dee was quite the character, man. Some wild shit.
Listen, they grew up in a city or in a time where it was just decadence. It was just raw and nasty, and that's what they were. Again, I thought I was a huge fan. I wasn't, and I'm not. But I respect what they bring. There's a good handful of songs that I love to listen to. I will always listen to, and they mark an era, and they should be remembered for that. There should be something big that marks the era that was the Ramones in New York City, and it'll never happen. It's not politically correct, but to me, that's something that should happen. So again, Hard Rocket Sports. That's Jeff over there. He's the sexy guy with the beard. I'm Tom Flory. I got the flag behind me with my team colors that are.
Is that a plastic number?
It is a plastic number.
Couldn't even go for the fucking
I like my jersey the way it is. I like this jersey.
Hard mesh with a plastic
That's
number.
That's it. Gotta love it.
don't
Danny
wear out in the
Danny
sun.
freaking Dimes.
It'll melt.
Danny freaking Dimes, baby. That's all you have to worry about. But Hard Rocket Sports, we're here every week, Thursday nights, 7 to 9:30, or 7 to 9, give or take. Tonight might be a little early. I'm beat, Jeff. I had a long couple of weeks. This weekend, I'm looking forward to a nice, quiet, watch a little bit of football. I got the Nebraska-Minnesota game on the screen right now. I'm kind of keeping an eye on Nebraska and Minnesota. I'll be watching a little bit of college over the weekend, doing a little betting. And we'll see what the weekend brings. I never know. I might take her out to Staten Island on Saturday. We'll see if how my wife's feeling. She's been a little under the weather with a little, so I don't know. We haven't ventured out very much in the last week or so, other than me going to work every day. So we'll see how it goes.
Probably better. You're probably better off.
I would tell you, yeah. I would tell you. What do you think of this whole thing of they're looking to house some migrants over at I think Fort Wadsworth, and the boroughs up in arms. They want to secede from the union, get out of the boroughs, become their own city. What's your take as a native Staten Island who was born, raised, and will probably live out his life in Staten Italy?
It is what it is. That we don't have a voice. They're going to do what they want. As far as wherever they're going to put what do you think? Because you secede from the city, what happens now? What are you going to become your own state? If that doesn't happen, what are you going to become part of Jersey?
No, it's worse. That's worse.
Okay.
Phil Murphy's a moron.
Well, look at what we have here.
Hey,
Okay.
kid, yeah.
If they're going to put these migrants in St. John Villa with his houses on both sides of the school, okay, that's it. The battle's lost. The battle's lost. What they should have done is Eric Adams should have stood up to the plate when he said that here comes the migrants. Should have turned around and said, listen, you're not allowed to stop here. Go out to fucking Kennedy Airport. There's planes waiting. Put them on the fucking planes. Get them the fuck out of here. Don't tell them where they're going. Send them back. That's it.
That's what Florida did. That's what Texas did.
Oh, that they didn't want to do that.
The problem is because New York came out and said 4 years ago under Trump, oh, no, we're a sanctuary state. You can come in. New York City, and the bozo said, your former boss said, oh, yeah, we're a sanctuary city. You can come here. We take everybody. And you're taking them now. And now it's, now all the burbs, are starting to get the, they're talking about putting migrant camps up all over the place. And there are millions and millions of people coming. And, what I say is tough break.
Millions of people.
It's millions of people.
It's not going to be millions. It's a couple thousands, not millions.
Well, they're coming across. I'm not saying into New York. I'm saying into this country.
Yeah,
they've estimated 5 million people have illegally crossed into the United States.
Already, that's 5 million people, of course.
5 million people have crossed into the United States in the last 3 years. That's an estimate. And last week, I believe I read a story. I can probably pull up the article that they caught another guy on the terror watch list crossing in with a bunch of Uzbekistanians. And they said it's just one of those things where people are going, wherever they want to get in. They go down to the southern border and they just walk across. And Uncle Joe's there with a free telephone and a place to live in a nice hotel and give you some food. And you can order some bomb-making materials and blow us up.
Yeah, I don't understand that, man. I really don't know. But you want to know something? Nobody's standing up to the plate and fucking telling them. Nope. So you could point the finger at them for letting the people in, or you could point the finger at the other side for just letting it happen. Nobody's standing up in front and saying, no, you can't come here.
Well, I'll say you can't blame the Republicans. They've been trying to get the water finished. They've been trying to do something about it. Tom, even if they're saying it, they're trying.
Listen, they come in, they come here on the bus, take the bus, turn it the fuck around, and get it the fuck out of here.
Oh, no, I agree, but
so nobody's standing in front of the bus when it shows.
Oh, no, I'm with you.
Sending it back, so it does. They're both at fault.
That's why I love Florida. That's why I love Texas. They're saying, I'm sorry, get on this bus. We'll take you to the cities that want you. we don't want you. And I'm like, listen, whatever. But, it
And
is
if
what it is.
anything, you know what? Do you say about them going to Florida?
Yep.
Florida should just been like, you know what? No, we're not letting them come in.
Oh, no,
Texas,
they aren't. They're
they-
just shipping them out.
don't even come into Florida. Don't even come
No.
into these fucking places. That's what should happen.
Well, they're saying that, but they are.
They can't get to the sanctuary cities if they're passing through Pennsylvania, for example, and they turn around and say, listen, you're not coming on the highways over here. We don't want you in the state. Nothing. Find another way. Don't fucking come through this way. You're not allowed to use our roadways to get there or get there. That's what I'm saying.
Oh,
They
no,
allow you to go through, to take the trip, to travel through Pennsylvania to go there, travel through Nevada to get there, whatever the case is, you're allowing them to cross through. Just be like, no, you're not coming in this state at all. You cannot come in this state. That's it.
Well, I agree. But I also love what DeSantis and Abbott have done in those two states. And they said, yep, you came here. Okay, we'll put you on a bus. We'll put you on a plane. And we'll deliver you to Martha's Vineyard. We'll deliver you to New York City. We'll deliver you to California, Minnesota, all these states that swear that they're sanctuary cities or sanctuary states. And now those cities or states are all crying, please stop, please stop. We don't want you. And it's like, well, you told them to come here. They're all yours. So listen, it is what it is. New York City is a cesspool. If you haven't been to the city in a while, it's a shit show. But that's a whole different thing. I wouldn't vote for a Democrat if you paid me, but let's get back on to sports and music. I do want to talk a little bit of social justice, Jeff, before we close up the show tonight. And I have to talk about Alice Cooper and Carlos Santana. Two different guys, two different styles of music, all with the same thing. Both these guys are being frozen out. They're both being canceled because they've both chosen to enter the world of transgender politics. And both have said, hey, listen, it's a joke. It's a fad. The kids should be kept away from it. And, that's not how God intended things. And both guys have been essentially canceled. I know Alice Cooper lost a endorsement from of all things, a makeup line from Vampire Cosmetics. It's spelled with a Y instead of an I. And
amazing, right?
Yeah. And here's the problem. So we're land of the free, home of the brave. We all could say whatever we want, but if you say whatever you want and people don't like what you're saying, they want to cancel you. So some people could say whatever they want, and we're supposed to kneel and bow and pray and let them do whatever they want. But Jeff, if you go against what the small majority think, well, next thing you know, you don't deserve to have a voice.
Well, listen, Tom, the sadness of it is this. If you have something on your mind and you want to say what it is and somebody doesn't like it, your life is ruined.
Absolutely.
But if they don't like something, it has to be acted on.
Correct. It has to be wiped off the face of the earth.
I was listening to last night on the radio, okay, because I try to listen to everything that I can to get as much information as I can to see what we actually have to worry about. And there's too much to worry about, to be honest.
Oh, yeah, absolutely.
So last night I was listening to on the way home from practice. Bill O'Reilly came on 77. I think it's WABC.
Yep. Absolutely.
Okay? And he had this woman on, and they turned around and said the difference between a Democrat and these progressive liberals or leftists, whatever you want to call them. And some of it I knew, some of it I didn't. But the bottom line is that that's now saying, or at least last night on the radio, that it's not necessarily the Democrats that are bad. It's the progressives,
sure,
ones that are making all these issues and problems, which makes that even a smaller group,
correct,
than you would think it is. And yet they're getting their way. They're getting their way, and yes. I don't understand it. You got a guy as a president who can help you. Okay. He's only doing what he's told because he's there as a prop. He's there as whatever you want to call him. He's not coming up with these ideas himself.
No.
What is I don't understand it. I really don't understand it. These fucking people are fucking retarded. They really are.
I would agree with you.
At this point in time, I can tell you this much: it is lost. It's lost. It's lost.
I would agree with you. It would take a stunning turnaround to save this.
It's going to be.
I didn't say it would. I didn't say it's going to or it might. I just said it's going to take a stunning turnaround to ever get back to part of what we were. It can never be back.
If you listen and you think about the people talking about transsexuals and how it's okay in school, when my mother wouldn't let me make my mind up of what I wanted for lunch or what kind of snack I was going to take,
Yeah.
but yet a kid the same age, 5, 6, 7 years old, can now say whether they want to be a boy or a girl at that point in time without their parents' permission at that. Okay, it's just unfucking believable.
No, I know what's worse is that there are adults out there who are pushing these kids to think that they may be something else. That's what's worse. Not that no 5 or 6 or 7-year-old kid is sitting there in his house thinking that he may be a boy when he's a girl or a girl when she's a boy. You know, it's not happening. Somebody in their life, parents, teachers, guidance counselor, whoever, somebody is putting these thoughts in their head. No child is actually sitting there going, I should really be the opposite. It's not happening. So the problem is,
at best, there's some kid thinking he doesn't understand the difference between a girl and a boy but a girl is a girl and a boy is a boy.
Correct.
They don't understand fully. Of course, they don't understand fully the whole difference, but it's just unfucking believable that somebody would want to plant this in their head. Wait,
100%.
you know what? Can't worry about Russia and China nowadays and North Korea. Don't worry about them now, because all they got to do is sit back, just wait a few years, and they can just walk in here and say, listen, this is how it is, because they're going to be like, okay, well then how do you know that you're Russian and Chinese and this, that, and the other thing? Why? Because you have slanted eyes and light skin? And like, no, because we're taking over and there's nothing you can do about it. So that's where we stand with that. Now go blow some soldiers, you fucking wackaloon, because that's what's going to happen.
Yeah, listen, I won't argue with any of that. Like I said, and what can we do about it? I don't know. The problem is the normal people of this country, whether you center right, center left, we are just allowing it to happen. And until we stand up and have a voice and push back, and it happens every once in a while, you'll get some retarded thing. You know, they'll say something retarded on that side, and we'll push back and it'll go away. But it'll always rear its ugly little head. You know, we all screamed about COVID and it's terrible. And now it's starting to rear its head about they want to put mandates in and they want you to go get another booster shot. It's out there. And if people don't push or say screw you, they'll mandate it. You know, but it'll always happen unless you push back. And the problem is people of our age are not pushing back. We're not protesting. We're not burning cities down. We're not flipping over cars.
You can do whatever you want.
You're working.
Let it happen. They're gonna let it happen. It's gonna happen. They said today. When did I hear it? On the radio today? I think yes, the radio. This new COVID variant that they found.
Yep.
Okay, they found it in wastewater in New York City, but it's a new variant. It's not making anybody any sicker than they once were. It's not a problem. It's they didn't make it seem like, oh my God.
Yeah.
But yet people are taking it that way. There's still people that ride around with a mask on when they're in a car by themselves. If you think that you're going to give yourself COVID, what kind of life do you live?
But you know what, Jeff? I agree with that 100%. But what I'll say is this: if somebody wants to drive around in their car with a mask on, or if they want to walk into a restaurant and wear a mask, if they want to walk down the street with 2 masks on, smoking a cigarette through the mask, I'm all for it. Just don't tell me how to live my life. Don't tell me what I should do. That's the problem I have. If somebody wants to do that, they can do it. Don't tell me what I got to do.
It's not the people that are wearing the masks that are coming up with this shit. That's the
I agree.
The wackaloon in the car that's by themselves. It's not the guy walking in the park by themselves with a fucking mask on and a helmet on. It's these politicians and shit. They made
big pharma. Big pharma. Right. So this is Johnson & Johnson and all these different vaccine companies who want to scare you to death. And because now the government's not paying for the COVID virus, the shots. you have to get your insurance company to pay it. And most of the time you have to lay it out of your pocket, and then the insurance company reimburses you. But again, they will pay money for the politicians to put the laws in place and try to mandate the fact that you have to have these shots. Just like we had before. Think about it. You could have lost your job if you didn't get it.
No, I know. I'm not
You know
happy.
what I mean?
Not happy about it. Believe me.
And all of a sudden, it became, well, you really didn't need it, but we wanted you to have it because it's worth it. You know, again, if somebody wants to get a shot, I'm all for it. You know, I think there are 8 different booster shots for COVID now. 8 different ones.
I didn't know that.
And not one of them keep you from getting COVID. It's like the flu. You get a flu shot, you get the flu. But
yeah, I hear you.
So to me, I don't get it.
The shot, that wrestler Bray Wyatt died after taking a shot. Ended up getting heart problems.
Correct. Yeah. And I will tell you that there are plenty. My mother has not been the same since she got her shots. My dad has all sorts of all of a sudden had knee problems, and I got an uncle. I think he's got 4 or 5 or 6 shots at this point. He's got a heart problem now. Listen, I'm not blaming it all on that. All I'm saying is there are a lot of people who have a lot of stuff after they got all these shots. And while I thought it was great that they got this stuff out there, you know, most of the time when you get a shot, it's been in trials and tests for a decade before they say, okay, we know everything bad about it. Here you go. So, if a store, restaurant, business says you can't come in here without a mask on, that's their business. I will just walk and go someplace else.
Yeah, well, unfortunately, you know what? They're going to worry about if I don't make you wear a mask, you got to get her before she wakes up. She's under the thing.
I got a vacuum. I just broke something. Can you hand me that vacuum?
She's got a what?
Hand me the vacuum.
What happened?
I broke something.
Oh, wonderful. Hold on. Sir.
Good. So, but guys, I'm not against you doing what you want to do. I'm all for it. Just don't make me do it. That's the way I feel in life. You know, if I want to, you know, worship at the altar of money, then that's my business. If I want to go to church and praise God, that's my business too. If I want to get a booster shot, or if I want to wear a mask, that should be my decision. But to have the city of New York, the state of New York, or the federal government tell you, you know, that you have to do something, I'm totally dead set against it. And you know, it is what it is. But again, you said it right, Adam. If us as play the sheep role and allow them to do whatever they want, and the only way to get is to fight. Listen, I've said it 100 times on the air here. I don't buy Nike products. I don't buy Coke products. I don't fly Delta Airlines. You know, there are plenty of businesses that I do not support. I will not purchase their products. I will not buy anything that has to do with them because of their stances on a lot of things. Will they ever know it? Do they ever feel it? No, but that's the way I do it. If everybody did that, they would hear us. The problem is we don't. Not everybody's doing it, Jeff.
No, man. You know, listen, it is what it is. I mean, I'll buy Diet Coke. I don't give a fuck what they say. I'm sorry. I'm addicted to Diet Coke. And
I got you.
I'm drinking it. I don't care. There's a lot of other things I gave up.
Yeah, listen, I get it. Listen, I go to Dunkin' Donuts. I drink 3 of these. You can't see it right now. Let me take off my screen. Anyway, I drink 3 Dunkin' Donuts iced teas a day. Okay, they're unsweetened. I put in a special sweetener. It's been something I've been doing since I've been on my diet. It helped me lose 60 pounds. I'm addicted to it. I go to Florida. They only give you paper straws. Only give you paper straws. But they give you a cup that could hold 48 gallons of plastic. But the straw has to be paper. It makes no sense.
Well, the turtle's not going to put his head in the cup.
I guess not. I guess nothing could get into the cup, so it's okay. But all I say is, guys, like if you're against it, let them know somehow. The best way to hit people is in the pocketbook. Short of that, most companies don't give a crap. So all you can say is, if we don't bitch, we don't complain, and we spend the money, they ain't going to give a shit. and I say don't vote for him. And I say it 100 times. I would never vote for a Democrat. I could care less. I would vote for Gumby, Snoopy, and anybody else on the ticket that didn't have a D next to their name because I don't like what the Democrats stand for. I agree with Jeff. It's not necessarily the Democrats. It's more the progressive field of the Democrats, but it's tied to the Democratic Party. So
And I'm
anyway,
not sticking up for them. Don't get me
no,
wrong.
I got you. But
I'm
you're right.
sticking up for 'em.
You're right. I'm not arguing with it. I think you're right. But it's the progressive end of the Democratic Party that. And listen, the far right, those guys. There's a little bit of lunacy there too. So don't get me wrong. I'm with you.
Well,
But,
there's a lunacy, yeah, on a completely different level. And you want to know something? They may be lunatics, but they seem to have their shit a little bit more together than the other end.
I've said it a million times. I will vote for whoever the Republican nominees are for president in 2024. I'm not a fan of a lot of them. Chris Christie lost me. I thought Pence was a maniac. But whoever, and I voted for Trump twice. I'd vote for him a third time. I hope it's not him, but if it is, I will vote. I will pull the lever for anybody who's got an R next to their name because I can't vote Democrat because of what they stand for or allow to stand for, and they're under with the Alexandria Ocasio-Cortezes and those maniacs of the world. So that's just the way I feel. But we got a few more minutes here on the Hard Rocket Sports Show. We got the weekend coming up, Jeff. Beside the big show, what else is on the plans for the weekend?
Nothing. Work.
No work. Yeah, working Saturday, Sunday, and Monday, right?
Yeah. I just had the guy who's texting me now about finishing up my my banister here.
You've been working on that banister for a very long time.
No, he it was a 2-part project.
Gotcha.
He did up and down. He did down. That's done. And now he's in the middle of doing up.
Nice.
He's got to get one more piece of molding up and just paint a little bit, and we're done here.
Nice. Good for you.
Did a nice job. It looks good. Yeah. I
Yeah.
like the way it came. It's better than a wrought iron that we had.
Mm-hmm.
So it looks good. It looks nice. So
I don't have much in the way of plans this weekend. I will be I'm not really sure what I'm doing. I guess a lot of it depends on my wife's health and how she's feeling and all that good stuff. So we'll see if I got a lot of work, got some work to do around the house. I got some little more painting to do. I got a little painting left to do in my hallway, and maybe go do a couple things. So we'll see how she's feeling. Watch a lot of college football this weekend, and try to catch up with the last 2 weeks. Work has been extremely rough. I can't wait for these 2 jobs to be over so I can get a break. I'm getting too old for it, man. I'm just getting too old. Scary.
yeah, it's
But all good.
you got a video that we need to play.
Oh, yes, that's right. We got one more. We do have our first initial Raider report. Would you say it's I have not watched it. Would you call it the first official Raider report of the year, or was it a prelude to the...
It's enlightening,
Okay.
and you got to see
See
it.
you, Adam.
Adam, be good, bro.
Be good, brother. See you next week. Let's get it up on the screen.
Jennifer says hello, Adam.
All right. We've already played our Lucha Libre. Our new fan, Denver Bronco fan who's traveling across the country, maybe illegally. We think illegally, trying to make his way into the Mile City for opening day. We'll see if he makes it there at some point this season. But in the meantime, we have a visit, Jeff, from our dearly departed brother, one Dominic Halfman Ginta. So let's get Dom on the. Let's see what Dom has to say from the hereafter.
Hey, boys, it's me, Dom Ginta. So, I might as well take advantage of the fact that here I am up in heaven. So I go knock on the office door. I say, let me speak to Jesus. He comes out. He says, it's Jesus. I say, whatever. Anyway, I was like, listen, you took me before my time. I never got to see another Raiders Super Bowl. How about it, Big J? You throw the Raiders the chance to get in the Super Bowl this year, maybe even squeak out a victory. He slammed the door in my face and said, "Get the fuck out of here, midget." I was like, "That's half man to you." He said, "Whatever." Anyway, the war in heaven is about to begin. I'm telling you right now, I'm going to convince them the Raiders, 13-4, AFC Super Bowl representatives, NFL champions. You got it right here first from the half man.
Wow. That is quite the first initial Raider report. Jesus himself slamming the door, calling our brother in heaven a midget. Jeff, it's not politically correct. I don't think Jesus. I'm questioning all of this because I don't think Jesus would ever use the word midget.
Well, listen, you got to remember, Jesus is old school.
That's
Probably
true.
knows how he really feels.
You're very true. I am feeling at least good that our friend, our brother, the half man, is in heaven. So, and that there is one. I didn't know there were doors in heaven. He had to knock on a door to see Jesus, as he called him. But I think it's an interesting report.
We're going to be hearing from both these fellas
quite often.
We're going to be hearing from them.
I would say the one negative I would have to say about Dom, for a guy who's in heaven, he doesn't look very happy.
Well,
it just has
he was here. Everything was great. Last year at this time, he was gearing up for the season.
Yeah.
Season ends. He was gearing up for the draft. Next thing you know, he's packing his bags and he's out of here, heading out of town, and he ain't coming back this way.
Yes, on the one-way express.
And listen, maybe he was thrown out for a reason.
Maybe that's possible, but we do know there's a heaven, and Jesus is there. So we got a little bit of insight. Jeff has summoned his spiritual powers and spoken to the half man, and he actually put some on video for us. So listen, we'll look forward to more of Dominic's Raider reports. And, of course, Lucha Libre and his travels across America, maybe not on the bus, but maybe under the bus or on top of the bus. But needless to say, the guy's traveling across country somehow. And on a semi-regular basis, I'm sure we'll be hearing from both of them.
Mm.
We'll see what happens. But, guys, listen, we're going to end it right here. We both got, a lot of stuff to do the rest of our night. And, again, we'll pick this up again next Thursday night with on the opening night of football next Thursday night, Chiefs and the Lions. Jeff and I will be back. We'll discuss the season. We'll make some predictions. We'll do we'll do a lot of football next week as much as we can allow. And of course, we hope you guys come back. But please listen, have a great weekend. Enjoy it. If you get a chance to go out to Staten Island and see 25 Missions and Jeff, they'll never let you down. Those guys are great musicians, good people, and when you add in my partner in crime, it's just a great band. So all kidding aside, if you're on Staten Island, go to Richmond County Fair, see 25 Missions this Saturday, and have some fun with that. But if you don't, please be safe, hang in there, have a great weekend. Jeff, I'm going to give you the last word. Anything you want to add?
Oh man, that's it.
And okay, so then of course make sure November 25th and December 30th, you guys show up at Mother Pugs for the relaunching Mach 2, whatever you want to call it, of the Ramorons. The worst fake announcement of all time. There was no change in the band. They're playing Ramon stuff, and you can see it. You can see, and they'll all be still wearing black wigs. So sure, I don't know what else there is.
Stage wear has not been discussed. Direction is changing, and where we were just a month ago is a lot different than where we are right now.
Yeah, the change in direction, folks. I have it on good authority. There'll be more minute 35 songs instead of the minute 38 songs. So just make sure you get there because there'll be a few extra songs in the set.
You will see, man. You will see. Remember, Without us,
Yeah.
there's nothing to do.
That's very true. I would tell you guys, though, if you do get a chance to go see the Remorons, go ahead. They do a great job. I got to see the initial show last year, and it's a tight band. I mean, listen, you can anybody can play the Ramon stuff, but playing it tight and keeping it moving is different. Anybody can play the 3 chords. It's not brain surgery, but playing it tight, playing it well. That's the key, and they do it, the whole band. So John and John and Chris and Jeff, it's worth the trip. So if you get a chance, mow the pugs, November 25th, December 30th, get your holiday weekends all kicked off with the Remorons. So we'll definitely be promoting that along the way, and we'll never know what else is going to pop up here on the Hard Rocket Sports Show. But with that, we'll end it. Guys, enjoy your night. Enjoy the rest of your week. Enjoy your weekend and all of next week. Jeff and I will see you back here next Thursday night when we do this all over again. So for Jeff Towinski, myself, and everybody here at the Hard Rocket Sports Show, thank you, Frankie Catalano, Adam, my dad, and everybody else. We love you. Please be careful. Enjoy your weekend. We'll see you next week. Hefe, have a great one, pal.
Later, man.
Talk to you later.